I believe at the last meeting, we talked about 318 Plymouth Street being on the agenda, the storage facility. And we said that we would maybe have conversations between the meetings with, not as a board, but and then have them on this agenda. So I really think it should be on the agenda.
I was going to, as I recall, follow up on some of the questions that we had that night. They're not on the agenda, so I don't want to get too far into the weeds about them, but I was planning on commenting on the things that we left kind of open at the last meeting. As long as anybody doesn't have an objection to that.
So are you motioning it?
There's a motion on the floor right now.
Yeah, there's a motion on the floor, unless
Can we amend the motion
that would
and
be.
not have it as written? And add 318 Plymouth Street, because we had all talked about that at the last meeting. I don't know if anybody wants to discuss that any further. That's what
I would like to keep it limited only because they're not here. I don't want to get too far into the weeds without the people we're talking about having had adequate notice. But I would like to comment on the things that we had discussed. Mr. Sylvester was going to take a look at the site in relation to the electrical work so that we had some idea of what the
Wasn't that 314 or?
no, that was 38. Well, that was.
I did look at it.
It
was there today.
Doing the road work, right?
Pardon?
You did look at it, and it's the people on 318 that are finishing the road?
You're talking about the set of lights we're talking about now at Starbucks?
Yes.
Yes, I was there today. I actually spoke to Keith.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. We just want to make sure we've got it on in
Yes.
our section. Just hold on for a minute. So we're going to talk in a limited fashion about 314 and 318.
All right, I'll amend my motion that's currently on the floor to add it to the discussion, but without 48 hours notice would be in violation, in the fact that, like you said, the other party is not here would also be in violation. So I'd amend it to add it as a discussion, but
a limited discussion.
yes, so as far as among the board members, that's fine with me. I'll amend it to that.
All right, I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded to add some discussion on 318 and 314 Plymouth Street in a limited fashion. All those in favor, we're going to go for a roll call vote. We're going to start with Mr. Sylvester.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Mr. Millius, it's myself. Yes. Okay, we will add that on there. So starting with the discussion from Midland Contractors for the signal system, now I'm going to defer to Mr. Sylvester, who took a look at this, and we're following up on the conversation we had at the last meeting.
My only question is that our agenda says that we have the first meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Posted.
I'm sorry.
So
My bad.
I would do that first, and then yes, we do it as a discussion as the agenda.
Yeah, my bad. I jumped to discussions as opposed to appointments. Let's do the continuation of PSPR 253539 Plymouth Street site plan review. We left it with some questions at the last time. I believe the applicants are here, and I believe ownership is here. Is one of you the owner of the property?
I can speak for it, yeah. Or I can.
I'm sorry.
I apologize. I'm having a hard time hearing. Are you talking about 314 Plymouth Street?
No.
Oh, I apologize.
No, not yet.
Okay.
We're getting there though.
539 Plymouth Street.
Yep. We had a couple of questions that we've got some answers for.
I'm gonna read it into record.
Yes, would you read that into the record, Amy?
So at the last meeting, we were talking about the legality of site plan and ownership. And so so we reached out to town council And from John Richard Hubsum, he stated that the site plan requirements bylaw 167-28 of the zoning bylaw requires that the name of the owner of record of the subject of the property be shown on the site plan, as well as the owners of record of all abutting properties. In my opinion, based upon the facts I have been provided, a valid lease of the subject property signed by the owner of record is sufficient evidence of authority of the applicant to the file site plan review application with the planning board. However, in my opinion, it would also be reasonable for the planning board to require the applicant to provide written authorization from the owner of record for the applicant to file the site plan review application with the planning board. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any other comments or questions regarding this matter. Richard John Hubsum. John Richard Hubsum, sorry.
So that would indicate to me that the applicant could do that with the approval of the owners of record. The question came up as to who's actually the owner of record. Caroline Reed signed for the landlord. Is that person the only owner of record, or is the town's records, the assessors have down Benjamin Reed also as an owner of record. And if that's the case, then Benjamin Reed needs to be on these documents as well, I would think.
They're currently divorced, I don't know.
In your name, sir? I'm sorry.
John O'Connell.
Is Benjamin Reed off the deed?
That is a quick answer I could tell you, yeah.
Yeah, if it's finalized, maybe, but if it's not, yeah, I was just gonna say.
I'm just gonna look it up on the registry,
I have it here.
the deed.
We,
As of today.
What today?
so,
So,
more
close
close to
enough.
that.
No.
In your name, sir?
I'm sorry, yes.
Howard and.
And you're here as in a butter, right? Just for the.
Yes, and. It came through slightly, but I. Did not, I believe, seen both of those. You can look it up.
Yeah, she,
I'm sure, I know you're probably have, I trust you on that, but I'm just doing it because.
Is there a voting page or a deed number that you can provide?
I already had it.
No.
Benjamin Reed and Carol Wood.
Oh,
you're looking up by name or by address.
Yes. It's still a deed for, hold on. Sorry, on my phone, it's just a little difficult because I have to slide back and forth. Maybe this will help.
Just for reference, the assessor's records aren't all that current. They tend to run behind, so those aren't as accurate as you might think.
No.
so if it is, just so I can plan ahead,
You need to
I
add,
need a signature from him too, just the same letter?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it is, something.
Yeah, because we have already from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got copies of that, but
Okay,
he's also an owner of record in order to do this right.
Okay,
We
You know what?
we have to add him as well.
neither one of them text me back, so.
Won't be surprised.
Basically, what we're gonna need is those documents that were provided to us
Again,
with his name added to them. And then I'm not speaking for everybody, but
yeah, that's gonna be all from this.
I believe so, but we need to discuss it.
Yeah, that's fine.
This one,
I just wanna make sure I get the whole list today, so I can.
Yeah.
Square it out before your next meeting and finish it up. So,
Well, just speaking for myself, based on the feedback we've got from attorney, the only thing that was outstanding that we wanted to investigate was
makes sense.
the propriety.
Yeah, that's fine.
If not, it won't search Halifax only, and of course with Plymouth Street, I don't know why it won't. Every time I put it in, it won't adjust.
Let me go to the advance.
Yeah, I did that, and what?
We get to uncheck all the other towns.
Tom, this was in a folder from some people, but it has both of them listed.
Yeah, it came up like that earlier
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he said he had a car in from today, so I mean,
Yeah,
you don't get much more new.
yeah, today's about it, yeah.
Yeah, we have Benjamin Reed is still on that.
Yeah, so. Are we all in agreement? Does anybody have any questions? From the board?
Can we relook at the plan and make sure that everything's all right?
Have the table. Is it copy?
Was that our only question last week? I forgot, I gotta remind myself.
That was it, that, and, we had some conditions that we were gonna add.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's someone wrong. That's the,
When you're handing out the wrong,
that's
oh, yeah,
Once a
yeah. It's down below here. No, that's all I'm gonna say.
I have all my notes.
Yeah.
I have the current one before.
And I can put in, you know,
We might have one in the cart, I just. No, I've got one, we've got some in our packet.
wow, this isn't.
As I recall, the only question we really had was the legality of the ownership.
The mouse.
Is it on?
But it won't work. I turned it
You
off.
did. Well,
There we go.
well, is that?
Plugging. I was thinking maybe the battery is in.
Yeah.
We'll fix it, you can see.
Oh, this stuff.
Danielle,
one that worked.
or actually Caesar, is there any, or either of you, how about that? Is there any way that you can bring up the current 539 Plymouth Street, plan, please? Because my mouse won't work.
It might be off. If you flip it over, there's a little switch you can try to flip it on.
Yeah, we tried that. It could be the battery.
Okay. Yeah, give me a second. I can remote in.
You got it.
Well, we have, for those of us here, there is a copy in your packet. And I don't recall all the issues that we had, which was mostly fire. And highway had asked that, an apron be provided at the street. I believe that we wrote that into the conditions as well, or what we were gonna propose for conditions. I think the big thing at this point is to get the authorization letter and the lease amended to include both owners.
That, and we'll need to refer to the plan on what date it was, and, does anybody have a clear picture on their, copy of what plan number it is?
And he's got a couple.
Oh,
I have one. It's not to scale or anything, but it was revised 1031.
thank you.
We're also gonna need to have copies to actually sign.
Yeah, and shouldn't they be the full copy? Like the regular, the standard size?
Yeah, I think you just brought this for us.
I
to
just
look
brought
at.
that from myself. to-
Yeah, no, of course, of course, of course.
I can give you.
No,
I'm-
that's,
So there, my sign or is it just paper?
Just
that's one Ponce.
I can get you.
That's not-
Full size copies you need.
Well,
That's the one across.
when we're presented with
Unless there's another.
the amended documents, that would be the time to also present us with full sets plans
Okay.
Okay.
with a signature form.
So the conditions that we talked about, just to remind everybody and to see if I've forgotten anything, is the condition from conservation about no biosolid compost. The porta potty to have a regular schedule to be emptied and renewed. The highway department, the business owner of the lot will take care of the dust to the street regularly. Dust and dirt.
And provide an apron.
Yes,
I think we were talking about a 10-foot apron.
yeah,
So was that, I think
And
the
I feel like the
highway
plan,
said within the right of
Yeah, it wasn't highway,
pay people.
would you agree
Yes,
that's
right.
okay with the apron right there? I believe it is, but you might know better.
Hey, am I on the right property?
Yeah, 539 Plymouth Street.
Oh, okay, that's not the right property. Sorry.
So, thank you, Caesar. How about that?
I don't see that notation for the
This,
plan. Can you include it on the plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna change
I
them.
feel like that's. I feel like, oh, it's right above it.
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan.
This one?
No, that's not current.
that's,
There it is. That down to. Up one. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm doing this on my phone, so I appreciate your your bearing with me. I'm a blind guy, so
Just scroll it up a little there, Susan.
Thank you.
Okay, that's better.
and it's touchscreen, so if someone wants to go over there and like zoom in on a certain spot, you guys can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We talked about a lighting plan. Did you guys happen to get a lighting plan together?
I gotta do that right now.
Okay, so we were talking about, yeah, I didn't know if maybe they did because of the time.
So you want to add that to the plan?
it's in the bylaws.
Yeah.
That it would have to be shielded if they didn't.
So that was part of that. I think that maybe we should make it a condition that when they add lighting, they have to come back. Except for,
You're not putting any lighting at all in now?
We're not, we're not proposing
You're not proposing
It's
it.
just as you spoke last meeting about like the
Okay.
security.
Shed like,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that will end up being a site plan amendment, a revision, so you're gonna have to bring that back.
we talked about any plans to gate the property and I do not recall the answer to that.
We just gotta put a chain in the front for now. It's a safety down across the street from the police. I don't think nobody's gonna get in there for right now. See what I'm saying?
Well, it's not being 24/7, just so
I was
you
just gonna put chain, you know what I mean, in the front, so. Like, and they already have a little fence over there, you know?
Amy, didn't we have hours of operation too?
Yeah,
that's,
we have, the buffer zone setback from 10 feet from the lot line. So I didn't have that one, Brett, what did you say again?
Hours of operation.
Yeah, hours of operation, wasn't it 7 to 7? But that's when we talked about the lights too, that they're not gonna be able to
I
see.
think that's what you,
Oh,
Bingo.
hours 7 to 7.
not that I was looking over your shoulder.
No, please, this is for us, shielded from the residents, so I think that I meant lights on the. But I think that the stipulation would be site plan modification. And then we also talked about if they were gonna add water to the back. And had any piping that was gonna go in the ground.
For the electrical conduit and
Mm.
water line.
Irrigation.
We're gonna explore the possibility of doing an irrigation well in order.
That makes more sense.
Okay,
Yeah, so.
alright, well,
So there's gonna be a service to the shed.
okay. And that was on there, okay. Just double checking everything. Is that all?
I think that's all as conditions, I'd just like to make mention too, that, this is the plan that we're approving before, so any expansion of what would be considered the nursery or, if it went on to the residential property would be a substantial change.
Yeah.
In the application, so, if the property gets sold, there's a special permit that runs with the land, then basically the special permit would handle the complete parcel. So, but that's not before us. The only thing before us is that
The
section
the
right
area
there.
designated.
Right, the area designated, and that's what the special permit, and that's what the board is.
Just the commercial
That's
section,
correct.
so do you want me to mention that?
No, I don't think it's necessary to mention that because
I think
it
you
comes
should.
under a substantial change. If it changes, just they'd have to come back before the board
It
to
would
make.
require
any-
modifications. yeah.
Yes.
The house,
Did you catch all those? Did you catch all those notes?
Am I good with that?
Yeah, and just as a side note, anywhere where we're not proposing work is within a 100-foot buffer to wetlands as well, so we'd be doing with conservation.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Right.
Okay. So, Bruce, are you good?
Still with us, Bruce?
Still with you, yes. I'm good.
There was a question from
Yeah. It keeps somehow the reference to lot 7B comes up. And I don't know of any lot 7B. So how do the assessors treat this? B is in the business zone.
Yeah.
A, I would assume, is what's left in the residential zone. Do they tax the homeowner
Yep, yeah,
for
absolutely,
the business use?
absolutely.
Yeah.
The owner of record is the one who gets the tax bill, regardless of how it's being used. I can speak as a former assessor.
So is there a lot 7B?
I don't believe so. I think that might just be the designation between the two zones.
And does the lease define the land being leased?
Can you show it to him?
Yep.
Do you wanna take a look at what?
I just,
It says the commercial lease agreement is made, on the premises. The landlord hereby leases to the tenant and tenant leases from the landlord the real property located at adjacent to 539 Plymouth Street, Halifax, Mass, consisting of approximately 2.5 acres to be used solely as a nursery and tree farm for the cultivation, maintenance, and sale of trees, plants, and related products. It's not really adjacent to 539, it's part of 539.
I don't want to be a stickler, but we're all through this when they built the post office. And I could see my father-in-law out there making damn sure that the slope was not on his property. I have no animus towards the applicant. I think we'd be delighted to see this use is a component of the uses that are allowed. Father grew trees there and we harvested apples and sold apple juice and other things there. So, but I just want to be sure that it's a clean designation of what's going on and who's responsible for that activity. And I think in terms of the town, and I don't know whether the owner understands that he's gonna get taxed for a commercial use of his property. That's between the applicant and that want to see the owner of the land, but
The assessors are gonna have to decide how they're gonna apportion it.
yes.
Is there a way that the board would like the agreement read instead of Jason's then, would you like it as the commercially zoned or the whole property, which would you?
I would probably,
I would probably make reference to the plan as
Commercially
indicated on the
zoned.
Okay,
plan.
with reference to the plan?
yeah, like a portion of 539, yeah. That references the plan,
Yeah,
right?
you can still put approximately 2.5 acres, but more specifically as referenced on the plan dated.
October.
That's gonna change, that plan date is gonna change now.
Well, yeah, well, whatever your date's gonna be, that's
Yeah,
fine.
let's put this on the property, redraw.
But it's to the commercial property.
Well, our approval needs to have the exact plan
Well, that's, we said it comes
Exactly
down.
how you want.
until how we
I didn't think so.
Well, we're gonna have to wait till we get the deed, for all the agreements.
Yeah, with two people fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good. I don't see it work out.
I was expecting people to make a motion on it tonight, but apparently
So we next
until we
month.
have the full set of plans. and-
Well, I think we need to make sure that we have both owners of record before we proceed.
Yeah, that's fine, I understand that, that's not a problem.
And the final updated plan.
Yeah.
So final updated plan is the new lease agreement and authorization with both key owners on.
Understanding the conditions that we laid out tonight, and if you wanted to add the lighting before, you'd have to pay for another application.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the full set of plans,
Yeah.
that's required by the application.
I have two notes, the full-size set plans with signature block, and I believe there's 5 members.
Yeah.
And then the note paved apron within the right of way.
Right.
Those are the two notes.
Would you like in the form of a motion that, how we set the time on this? But
We just continue it till next meeting.
well, if we have enough time.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're just gonna check.
12:15.
12:15, so we should be,
You.
We added 30 days last time.
yeah, you keep it up, you keep it up.
Careful.
Wait a minute, all those in favor say aye.
I've been there. Been there.
Oh, wait a minute.
Scars.
That was just.
Oh, because we did a 30-day extension
Last
last
meeting.
So when is the next meeting? It's
December 4th.
December 4th, that's right. Okay.
So we're good.
So
I'll make the motion then to continue the hearing for PSPR 25-3 539 Plymouth Street. When the required information discussed at tonight's meeting is provided to the board. And then that incorporates everything.
Okay,
Unless you want to spill it all out.
no,
Spill it.
we already did tonight.
I think so.
I think we're good. Second, we have a motion and a second to continue the hearing for PSPR 25-3 until December 4th, 2025. Our regularly scheduled meeting. All those in favor, we're going to do a roll call vote. Ms. Troop,
Yes.
Mr. Gainer,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvester,
Yes.
Mr. Milius, myself, yes.
12-5 or 12-4, what was it?
Okay, we're good. I think that's it.
We thank you for your thoroughness.
Just to confirm this December 4th.
December
Yeah.
4th,
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
That's why the deed's sticking with.
So we're good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Try to get that taken care of.
Not a problem.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
One thing was removed from the appointments on tonight's agenda within Celia Wade review, but I believe that's going to be continued until December 4th. Is that correct, Bruce?
What was that?
We're gonna continue Celia Wade until December 4th.
Yes.
Okay. I think now we can move on to what I tried to jump ahead to without paying attention to the agenda.
We do Midland General Fund, is that what?
That's where we're going now, yeah.
And oddly enough, his name is Reed too, I believe. Just-
I'll get that off so we can get Bruce back.
Yep. But I was also thinking I'm gonna subtract it, so
There he is.
back if I need a plan, right?
Yep. Going ahead with discussions, at the last meeting, we'd been presented with some numbers that we asked for in order to confirm a bond for the work that Midland Corporation was looking for to stave off until they were able to get the parts they were looking for the signaling devices. Mr. Sylvester, being in the business, had volunteered to take a look at this and give us some information and background and condition. So we're gonna ask him to do that now.
Okay, well, do you guys have a copy of the signed purchase order? It came in late today, so you may not have gotten it.
No, we have a change order here.
Oh, yeah, the change order. Okay, that's still the signed. All right, so you do have that.
Yeah.
So that the change order basically was for the temporary signals that they had there. So that's already been done. So I went there today. Everything's been done except for the tower that's needed to get put up. And I think that's $106,000 that's on the original proposal. That's part of the previous contract amount of $116,550. So that 106 is accurate. The only item that came up is I guess they need the traffic cameras. So they have to send us whatever they have for a quote on that, quote / purchase order, so that we know, so we can, so we'll know the exact bond amount to require from them. So that was something that just came up recently when I was talking to Keith today. So once they get that to us, we can figure out an amount. I have no idea what those cameras are worth. You know what I mean? It could be 50 grand. I don't know. So, but outside of that, all the work's been done. The piers in place, the conduits are in. It's just a matter of Bell installing the tower and wiring it right to the control cabinet if it's 20 feet away.
And the arm, right?
Yeah, the arm, exactly. It's the arm with the set of lights on it. And then they'll be taking down there's a couple of temporary lights that are up right now. They'll take those down at the same time. So the biggest thing I guess we just got to find out now are the traffic cameras, what the cost of those are, and then we can figure out a bond. So they're going to need to send that to us.
Okay.
So once we get the purchase order for those traffic cameras, who should we email that to?
Danielle.
Okay.
Who's Mr. Reed?
He's from Midland.
Yes.
Sorry, no, I'm from Leaders Real Estate representing the developer.
One of the questions I was going to bring up, because we tentatively talked about it in the past, was whether we should be looking for an exact amount on the bond, or is it typical to add on to that amount? What has your experience been? I mean, typically most bonds, they're asking for 1.5 times the value of the work. Is that something that's problematic for you, Mr. Reed?
The bond will be coming through Midland, so I can certainly check with them. 1.5 seems extreme, but this will be a short-term bond, so I don't think it should be too big an issue, but I can check with what they're capable of doing.
Okay, all right, that would be a question I'd like to ask, unless anybody has an objection to that.
No, I don't have an objection to time.
We can send that back with the purchase order for the traffic cameras.
But the only thing that I was wondering is like the rest of the site, as far as like the site that's scheduled to be O'Reilly's, and how that's all gonna go, and how,
Well, I think the discussion was that everything was going to be completed 100%, except for the remaining piece that needs to be delivered because they're on back order, and I can attest to the fact they're on back order everywhere.
Okay. So you're saying the rest of the site would be complete and there would be nothing missing?
That's how it was presented to us, with the exception of that equipment that has yet to be delivered and installed. Does that sound right, Mr. Reed?
Yeah, we are working on finishing up the Starbucks side. The AutoZone is just a ground lease. And so we're working with AutoZone's contractor to have that turned over to them. So we're bringing a little bit more fill, and then that should be turned over to them, and their contractor will come in and finish the site in full.
It was my understanding that occupancies were going to be, you're looking to finish the entire site, including the AutoZone store, prior to any opening of the Starbucks store. Is that still how this is going to run?
No, I mean, they will be off by maybe a couple months or so. The Starbucks is certainly ahead of the AutoZone at this point, and both are looking to open as soon as possible.
Okay.
So
there was a little confusion. I apologize for interrupting you. There was a little,
go ahead.
The way we heard it the last time was that everything was going to be completed prior to anybody opening, and that's why I wanted to clarify that, because that didn't seem reasonable to me. But
oh no, and I'm not sure who communicated though, but that's certainly not the plan.
okay. Right,
Yeah, no, both parties. Part of them taking over was they would like to, as they finish up, be able to open. That's why we were working to try to get this, I guess, guarantee, if you will, of the temporary CO based on that temporary light, so that when Starbucks is done, they can open. Then when AutoZone is done, they can open, knowing that both of those will be prior to the permanent light going in.
Well, I think that there would still need to be a bond on, even if
well, we have to leave the bond in place.
but also we would need to make sure that it was in place for the entire AutoZone half of the property. We would need a bond on that, I believe, peer engineered.
I'm thinking that's the kind of thing we would do when Starbucks approaches us about opening. We would have to go to the developer and say, well, if you're only going to do a partial to this thing, we need to know where this is going to stop, what's going to be left that's going to be problematic for the rest of it. So I think we assess that when we're approached for it.
Well, yeah, I know there's no way of finding out what that X is going to be, but I just didn't want them to think it would just be for the light,
Right.
because that I didn't want it to be miscommunicated now that we would be just doing the light bond and then nothing for the other half of the property.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Reed. I sort of had the impression that AutoZone was looking to get some kind of confirmation that we'd be okay with this temporary arrangement in order for them to proceed, assuming that they may finish before that lighting is installed. Am I kind of on track with that?
Yeah, correct. And really not just AutoZone, but Starbucks as well. I mean, again, both of them are taking possession of, Starbucks is doing the interior build of their building. AutoZone will be starting soon with the paving and grading and whatnot for their site. Yeah. Neither wanted to start construction if they were worried that by the time they finished, if that permanent light's not in, which it won't be, that they wouldn't be able to open their stores, basically.
Okay, that makes sense, and that's kind of what I thought was going on.
So I'm confused though about, so Starbucks will finish probably in February, which will be before the AutoZone. So what is Starbucks going to need to do then to get their temporary CO?
They're going to have to, I'm speaking for myself at this point, I haven't discussed it with the board. They're going to have to provide us with a workable site, as also confirmed by a review engineer. So
what do you mean a workable site?
A workable site meaning that they can use their site without having any interruption from any of the construction that's going on.
I gotcha. Okay. So if you come out and their site is fully functional as a standalone unit, it's not like they're gonna have to put up any kind of bond for the other part of it, or.
Right.
Okay.
That's my take on it. That's not the board's, because we haven't discussed it. But
well, at the last meeting, I specifically said, Mr. Reed made the comment that public safety wise, that even if the asphalt and whatnot on the shared area, people were going to be using the drive-through, that on an entering or exiting rather than onto Plymouth Street, that they wouldn't be going from asphalt to dirt. Specifically the public safety issue of it if, and again, like you said, if it was under construction, you know, what, means and measures are they gonna take to, ensure the public safety on that? As far as the two lots separation during and prior to the AutoZone opening.
Yeah, we'd have to be convinced that the Starbucks standalone is a viable site.
And that should be fine. The way the lot splits is the full access is on Starbucks side.
And then also a bond on anything that needed to be done on the other half. Am I understand? That's you.
Yeah,
That's the part I'm not understanding.
I know I keep reiterating it, but I think it's very important.
Yeah, so could you explain that part more?
Well, if we're giving you a TCO, we need to make sure that, like, say for instance, there was things left undone on the AutoZone part that would leave it that you couldn't go around the building or anything. We'd want a bond on the rest of that and a peer engineer to tell us what needed to be done in order to do that, so that we could have a bond also for that side, because if it got left undone, then we would need to figure out how it would be done.
Does that fall under our jurisdiction as private property technically? I know we're responsible for the lights, you know, that's public safety and stuff. Are we allowed, how would the town?
Yeah, I've been in this industry for 15 years. I've never seen that before.
Well, this is one entire site, so this is a little bit unique, because both buildings are on one site. I think, not that I want to put words in Amy's mouth here, but I think what she's getting at is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is if there's anything left unfinished that would hinder the operation of the Starbucks store that needed to be completed, some assurance, potentially in the form of a bond, for the completion of that work. If in fact, you know, say AutoZone pulls out or fails to continue with the site, or something in that manner. But I think that's something we deal with at the time.
Right, but I just wanted everybody to be prepared for that, because
right
it's a TCO.
Yeah.
It's a, you know, a TCO for it's only one lot, it's not two lots.
Right, it's one site. That's the complication in this. But again, we're not gonna sign off if it isn't a functioning site, as standalone. So I think we've got some control.
When you say site, you just mean the asphalt, the water control?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Not the actual building?
Not the actual building, but a functional site for Starbucks.
Like the whole thing
Correct.
outside. Yeah, I'm not talking about shelves or any of that stuff.
That the road's working, the drainage is working,
Yeah.
and nothing's gonna be problematic or being a problem being caused by the incompletion, if you will, of the AutoZone site. But I think we're gonna have to assess that at the time.
Yes, but just preparing that would be part of it.
Have we thoroughly confused you, or are we?
No, I'm tracking that. That's okay.
Okay.
From the sounds of it, Mr. Reed, it sounds like the Starbucks site, you guys will have a plan for that. That will be totally functional. That's that part of the property. So that's should be a non-issue.
Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about that.
Okay.
All right,
So how do we come up with a number for the bond and if we don't have the,
well, we're gonna
get it.
yeah, he's gonna
I'm
get us,
gonna send it. Yeah.
you're gonna get us a total number, including the cameras and whatever other items might be, have not been included in that, and then we'll take it up at the next meeting and come up with a number. And then we also have to talk about expiration dates on the
bond?
bond.
Yep.
I know, you were talking about April maybe, or May, in terms of getting that equipment, but there's no guarantees of that. So how long were you talking about writing that bond for, or having that bond written for?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's really a question for y'all. And I'm not sure in your jurisdiction how long these temporary COs last for. Yeah, I mean, we've ordered, we feel pretty good that about the May timeframe. And once it comes, it should be a pretty quick install. But we've all seen that the world can change quickly and things get pushed back months. So yeah, I mean, how long would the temporary CO last for?
Well,
Because our bond we just make probably our bond that same length, and then
Well, I should think, even if we did it for a year, even if it was completed prior to the year in April,
Then
you can
cancel.
call, cancel it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I would suggest putting it in for at least a year. Does that sound? I don't think that sounds.
Yeah, that's the number I would pick too.
Be okay with that as well.
All right, just to give you a heads up on that end of it.
So it'll be a one
Okay.
on for a total amount to be determined.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if, an example, just to cover it, if by chance, which we know is not gonna happen, I'm just covering it, at a year mark, the TCO would be removed and you'd have to stop business until it was finished,
Well,
right?
typically when you issue a TCO, you put an expiration date on it,
Okay,
so
okay,
we can control that.
okay. I figured, but I just want.
No, it's always good to bring it up. I think that covers it. Are you okay with where we're at with this? We're waiting on you for a number, and then we'll hopefully before the next meeting, and we'll put it on the agenda and come up with a plan.
Yeah, we will try to get that sent over to you next week and go from there.
Okay. Anybody else have questions?
Thanks, everyone.
The next
Thank you.
meeting's December 4, just so you're aware.
What was that?
The next meeting's December 4, just.
Okay.
Okay,
So we will add you to the agenda for December 4th. Or
Sounds good.
December 4th. Okay. In the discussion section here, we didn't add it, and just remembered that we had also discussed getting some information about the plan, the sign plans for 318 Plymouth Street. I want to follow up on that because I volunteered to do some research, and I did some research. I spoke with Silver Engineering to see if they may have taken all the signed copies of the plan when they came in that final night with the approval. Well, it turns out, according to Larry Silva, the planning board at the time never signed any plans. They voted and approved the site and issued a decision letter, but for whatever reason, the planning board never signed any plans. So I wasn't here, and so I don't know what happened at that meeting, and at least 2 other members were not involved in that.
I can actually say that if that is the case, then that would be that, so that was on May 10th, 2023, and then the election happened, and then we changed hands on everything at the next meeting.
Well,
So whatever, however, it got dropped out
yeah,
through a change in if that
the
did.
decision letter is the operative document here. The question is, who's using or the most recent plan? I spoke with our review engineer who sent over some sheets. He's using the March 2023 plan. There were some revisions post that time. I don't believe they were necessarily planning board revisions, but the question is, one was Board of Health. After speaking with the Board of Health, I'm not sure what the other revision was for, unless it was another revision from Board of Health, but I think one of the abutters may have that answer. The question is everybody using the same plan? I think so, but we're going to try to determine exactly what it is. Our review engineer, Pat Brennan, told me he was confident that he was using the correct plan. And he's also was doing the review work for conservation and Board of Health, or maybe not Board of Health, but for conservation. So I'm pretty confident that Pat's on top of what he's looking at.
What was the date again?
It was March 3rd, 2023. Anybody wants to look at the plan?
We had March 6th on the decision letter.
That might have been the date of the letter.
No, we voted on May 10th, 2023.
Okay. Well,
It's a date 3/6
Oh, okay.
date.
When I talked to Pat Brennan the day after our last planning board meeting, he stated that they were using an April 17th, 2023 plan.
that is the most revised plan, but
Why, what isn't that given to the planning board then? Well, that is gonna be like, that's a communication breakdown within the town hall.
well, there was no admin at the time. I don't know, you know, I hate to keep saying I wasn't here, so I don't know, but I wasn't here, so I don't know.
But you said there were revisions on this, to this, he said that there were revisions to this plan that probably would have been included then on the April set of plans.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah, yes,
If those were required by the site plan review, Mr. Brennan and conservation and whomever.
what we can do is ask Mr. Brennan to come to a meeting.
Yeah, so the only, this date is 3/3/23. The next page, it's 4/17/23.
Yeah.
So there must have been changes. 4/17. There's not a full set of plans
On the same date.
on the same date.
Yeah. Yeah, he just sent the top page for the different dates. Well, it got a little confusing to say the least. It didn't look like any of the changes were significant. I know one of them specifically was a septic issue. I asked Pat if any of those altered any of the elevations or site. He said no. I think the best way to handle it is to ask him to come in and ask any questions anybody may have of him.
Well, when I talked to him again, the day after the planning board last meeting, there was a 2 to 3 foot difference.
I talked to him yesterday and he said, no, there was no impact. So that's why I'm saying, let's have him come in and ask him so that we know everybody's on the same page, no pun intended here.
Yeah. Does it go from 2 to 3 feet to no change, you know? Or are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah, well,
You know,
that's why I'm saying that maybe we need to have him come in so that we can ask him. No, I'm sorry.
Tom Alger, 340 Plymouth Street. I have a document here dated April 17th. I don't know if you guys want to share.
Yeah, I've got a copy.
And it's from Silva Engineering, and it's to the board members here, planning board. In response to PGB Engineering, letter dated April 3rd, Silva Engineering has provided revised site plans dated April 17th, revised drainage elevation dated April 17th, and the following response to the newly made comments. So in here, the very first comment is the drainage design has been adjusted to mitigate the volume. This was accomplished by increasing the basin size and rise of the outlet control devices. I want to make sure that that's actually being done.
Yeah. Well, that's why, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, that's all right.
That's why I'm suggesting that we ask our review engineer to come in and he can address this rather than us speculating. We can find out exactly what's going on. That seems to me the only way to get accurate answers.
Yeah, so according to this here, there are new plans that are dated April 17th. And if those are May 6th.
Do we have a document that shows that it was emailed or sent? Because this is, it says, it doesn't, it could, you know, it doesn't.
I think I got this from Mr. Silva.
Yeah, I know, but like how it was sent to us, because we didn't get, I don't remember getting that. I'd have to look through the file.
Well, keep in mind, we didn't have an admin, so I don't know who they would have been sending it to. Rather
What's
than,
that,
sorry,
Jamie, April what?
17th, which
17th.
coincides with this,
Which coincides with Mr. Silver?
so unless anybody has any objection, I'd like to just propose that we ask Mr. Silva to come to our next meeting, if possible, depending on his schedule. And then we can ask the questions directly and find out exactly where we're at, rather than us all speculating about things of which we may not know anything about.
And then there's another stormwater plan from June 18th, 2025, which was after everything.
Again, this is why we want to get our guy in here, if you know.
Yeah, but at this point, yeah, Mr. White's doing a lot of work up there.
Well,
And is it gonna be too late?
well, when I talked to Pat yesterday, he said he's up there a lot and he's inspecting all the work. So again, we can ask him specifically if we have him here before us, but he sounded pretty confident that he's been there and has viewed the work. So I can only go by what he said, but I'd rather have him here in front of me where I can ask him.
But I think it's gonna be all done by then.
Well, what's the alternative? I mean, he indicated, I mean, it was, granted, it was only to me, he indicated to me that he is there and they're following the plan. I mean, I'm not,
But there's a discrepancy in what plan is being used and what's right, and that's the
Well-
problem. And working for the town of Halifax, we have to make sure that that goes.
so what are you suggesting, that we try to get the enforcement officer to shut him down? I don't see that as a viable. Because I see the town just fielding another lawsuit. And I don't think that's a reasonable
Well, I
thing
think
to do
we
at
could
this
be
point.
feeling it a different way if we don't, and it was wrong.
We're assuming that it's wrong.
No,
It's
if
an
it,
assumption that it could be wrong. He's on the site, he's doing inspections. Well, I mean, that's what we're paying him for, is to assure us that, and assure the town that
Done
they follow.
appropriately.
That what?
That it's being done appropriately.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, that would be the only solution, to have him come to the meeting and assure us that, yes, I'm on top of this. Yes, it is in compliance. Yes, it is being followed.
Because we could debate this for another hour. and-
Exactly.
And kind of empty. So let's,
So we're supposed to have Silver and Pepper both come?
yeah,
Just
do
one
that,
or
we
the
can
other,
ask them
or
both, sure. Sure,
Could ask Mr. White too, for that matter.
Yeah.
And that way we know exactly what he was,
that's actually.
this is the plan what we're going by, and then we have everybody right here.
This
Seems
is.
to make sense to me.
Tina Alger, 340 Plymouth Street. I have pictures of what's been done today. The foundation's been poured. And I had a few questions, and I came up to get a map of the plans, the signed plans. And I went to the town clerk. I thought that's where I should go first. I went there and she said, well, she's not in, and you'll have to go to see Danielle. I went down to see Danielle. And I said, could I have a copy of the signed plans for 318 Plymouth? And she looked at me and she said, they were lost and we're not looking for them. And she said, you can get an approved map, but she said it'll take 12 days for me to give it to you.
10.
And we need a email address. And I said, I don't do email. I have an iPad, but I don't do any email. And she said, then you'll have to go to the town administrator for permission to get it. So I went down to the town administrator and he gave it to me. And I have it. I also have pictures of the work that was done today. If you want to see them, you can see them. I have my iPad with me.
Well, again, they're gonna be meaningless to us unless we have our engineer here. And I think that's the only way, the only reasonable way to proceed with this.
But if there's anything that's not right with it,
then they're not gonna get any sign-offs, and they're not
well,
gonna.
they're not going to tear the building down because the cement was just poured.
I don't,
And all the is cement round things that for drainage is in there.
well, if they're wrong, they're gonna have to adjust them, that's all there is to it. You know, I understand your frustration, but you know, at this point, we don't have enough cause to shut any work down. I think we need our engineer, we need to get his input. That's the only reasonable way to approach this thing, in my personal opinion. And I like Jamie's suggestion that we invite Mr. Silver at the same time.
I'm obviously new to the board and new to this site, but what are the issues that you guys,
We're concerned with the drainage. Of
the drainage is the biggest
That's
issue
the
for you guys,
biggest,
not
that's
the
really, that's
foundation?
the only thing is
Okay.
the drainage. Because if we have, a letter, we have comments here from, your engineer.
Yeah.
And we have multiple versions of the plans that are floating around.
Yeah.
And we have nothing that's been approved by the planning board. We don't know which one they should be following. We don't know which ones they are following. We don't know which ones our engineer, the town's engineer, is following. And at the last meeting, there was a roll call vote that Mr. White and his engineer probably would be here, and that got scrapped.
Again, the only reasonable thing to do at this moment is to ask both engineers, and we can do that as early as Monday. And get some kind of a commitment for the 4th. If we can get everybody in the room at the same time, we can get some answers for everybody.
I would like to see the plan.
But-
That
To
you
Mrs. Allen's point, the foundation they built is for the first storage facility?
Yeah.
Is that
That
what I'm
was
saying?
for today.
But that's not the issue, right? Those have never
No.
changed, those have never changed, it's just the drainage.
No, it's just the drainage.
Just the drainage.
Okay.
That's what we're concerned about. That's what we've been working on for the past 4.5 years
Yeah.
on this project.
Yeah,
We've been here every meeting
right, yep.
and it's just been thrown out the window.
When we say drainage, are we talking about the subsurface drainage, or are we talking about surface drainage?
Well, it'll be both, because once it's surfaced, it becomes subsurface.
Subsurface, yeah, but I'm talking about the pipes.
We don't.
Oh, the pipes are fine. I have no issues with the pipes.
Yeah.
That's another issue that we have with Mr. Peck about the surface water coming down. But as far as the storage facility goes, just want to make sure that the drainage is heading towards the country club and going in that direction, and is not altered in any way, with the water maybe coming towards 340 or 346 Plymouth Street. And if Mr. Brennan has recommended certain elevations and certain requirements around that drainage, we want to make sure that Mr. Brennan's using the right plan and not making certain assumptions that he is using the right plan.
Reasonable, and again, that's why we want
That's
to
all I want.
get everybody in the room at the same time and get it dashed out.
These are all January of 2023 and the finalized for like on any of the besides the site, that would be 3/6/2023. This date, the 3/6/23, everything in here is January 2023. Everything except for the A&R plan, which was done on 8/30/2022.
Those all came from Pat, so I can use working with this people.
Yeah, can we different?
Yeah.
Right, so they made updates, this is the original, and the updates because the PG comments of the fourth.
However, this whole plan with the decision letter is January of 2023 with the final date of 3/6/23 right there.
But
That's what you got from.
And that's what was
But you got from the town administrator,
Right,
and we don't know that that decision letter was tied to that plan.
No, I put it in there.
That's what I'm getting at, yeah. So again, we can
Speculate all we want,
Yeah.
until we get to the.
hang this thing to death and get nowhere.
Yeah.
Or we invite everybody and ask them with some sense of urgency.
But with all due respect, that's what was done at the last meeting.
Yeah, but I think before we went that far, I think I volunteered to go up there and find out and.
We took a roll call.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that, but in any event, it didn't happen.
Right.
So let's get it done. Is everybody okay with that?
I'm a little concerned about, continuing on with, these, because if it's up 2 or 3 feet from what it was without it, first of all, it should have been a site plan modification.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you.
But so now these buildings are gonna be built on a surface that's either 2 to 3 feet up or down from what it was. And that could cause an issue. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've lost all your apple trees in the past from something like this. And this is what the problem is that it keeps hurting their property. And that is what we are here for, is to make sure that that's all happening. There should be a pause because number one, I think that it is knowledge of this board that the current owner didn't even have a copy of this decision letter when he purchased the property. Is that correct?
No, I don't know that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Because you were there.
Yeah,
I gave it to him.
he didn't have a signed copy of the plans, but I.
No, he said he never seen
Oh, okay,
that decision
I
letter.
just didn't recall. I just didn't recall.
So therefore, we have an issue because that's why the trees that were supposed to be on the property,
On which
Which is-
property?
it says it right here, that there's,
On
the
the-
trees are supposed to be
On
on,
their property, on the developer's property,
correct.
right?
So he didn't know all of that, and that's why he thought he might have had an easement for trees on the Al's property, which wasn't true, so there's a lot
Well,
of.
actually, there was, the plan showed a temporary landscaping easement that was not supposed to happen. Or it never got executed, and I remember, well, in any event.
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough to go on to put any kind of cease and desist, and all we can do is recommend to the zoning, to the enforcement officer that conditions haven't been met, and, to put a cease on it. I would be reluctant to do that,
I would not.
well,
It's
obviously.
just a temporary one because
Well, temporary is 2 weeks, and at this time of year, I personally have a problem with that. I mean, we can put them on notice that we think there may be a problem, and he can proceed at his own peril. And we're gonna resolve it at the next meeting. I'm not gonna take this meeting over, guys, jump in here, whoever
I'm
has
just-
comment.
Kind of confused, where are we getting the 2 to 3 feet difference? Is that just somebody's speculation or is that like,
that was
is that,
that was from PGV on the day after our last planning board.
this board? Like,
Yeah, remember our last meeting was on November 10th. On November 11th, I had a phone call in the morning to PGV Engineering and I jotted it all down. He said that they were using a plan that is not in this file here. He said that the plan had a difference of 2 to 3 feet,
Well, that could be the 17th plan that they're using.
but why would they be using that when it's not in this packet? This packet here, given by the town administrator, and we don't have one in our own file because they were lost.
I'm sure he just went and found something, I doubt he was.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That why would he tell you today,
Well, this isn't.
that he's in compliance and he's been on the site doing inspections? It's not like, geez, I hope they're complying. He's been there and have done multiple
So let me ask the other question, what is our authority to shut down a site?
we have no authority to shut down a site.
All we can do
I'm
is.
just asking because I'm new and.
Yeah, all we can do is forward it to the enforcement officer that there is a discrepancy and that we are recommending, or we can send a recommendation to, put a cease and desist on it, and then someone's gonna have to decide if that's appropriate. And I'm sure that they would contact council anyway, because I wouldn't do it without getting council's approval.
how could you put a cease and desist on something
A
and,
temporary,
and then decide whether or not they comply or not? I should certainly think that you would need
To know.
to know it from our engineer, again, who would pay in sums of money to represent the town, who's been on inspections, who's done the recommendations and made the requirements that they meet those changes, to say, okay, they're not complying, so we should shut them down, as opposed to shutting them. That's like getting arrested and then finding out if or not they committed a crime. You know, it doesn't really work that way. It should work the other way around.
Yeah, but that still doesn't make any sense because the board didn't even know the correct plan.
Right,
For a while.
so if it's not the correct plan, you're assuming that they're not complying with it,
So
whatever it may be.
So
It's an
it-
assumption. I'm saying, find out whether they are or they aren't,
It
and then take the
it really
appropriate
falls
action.
on Mr. White's engineer to make sure that he has a signed
The
off
correct set of
plan
plans. Well,
before he even lifts a shovel on
Yeah.
that site.
Yeah.
And he never did.
Well, we
So then how
are,
are they in compliance? I don't get it.
So how do you know they are in compliance?
Because our inspector said he's been on the site inspecting it. So you're saying he doesn't know what he's talking about, our own
No, he doesn't,
engineer?
because he doesn't know if he has the correct.
well, he sent these plans and one of them is dated the 17th.
His plan is different than these plans.
Yeah, those are
These
probably,
plans
Yeah,
are like
those are
the
the-
original plans,
From January.
March 3rd, 2023, when they updated something. Those other plans that you saw have a bunch of different revisions
revisions, yeah.
into April.
That were required.
So
by-
it sounds, and I was on the board then, but it sounds like these are old and those ones
Are
have
more current, yeah.
the,
except for the fact that the reference to, it is in the plan, is right in the decision letter, which would be that plan.
The reference to what?
The reference in the decision letter is to the March 6th plan, which is that.
Because that's what was presented at the time of the approval. Now, the fact that they didn't come back for revisions is concerning, but again, I can't comment to them because I wasn't here, but yeah,
Why can't Mr. White come in along with the two engineers?
I think I said that.
yeah.
I didn't hear you say
Yeah,
that.
I
I'm sorry.
think that'd be a great idea.
I'm gonna ask, unless anybody wants to really kind of continue to talk about this, I'd like to ask for a motion to invite the developer, his engineers, the site engineer, which actually isn't his engineer, which is interesting. So specifically, we should ask for Larry Silva, and our engineer, Pat Brennan, to attend the next meeting, and we can discuss the current plans and where we are with the project.
So moved.
I find it alarming that there's different plans.
We've got a motion, let's get if we can get a second, then we can discuss it.
I'll second.
We now have a second, now it's open for discussion.
I think that it's a little bit nerve wracking because we don't know. And if they needed a site plan modification, then it wasn't approved by the planning board, and that's why, again, site plan applications, whenever you turn in a plan, the full set plans need to go to the town clerk. They need to be sent around to all the different boards. And if there are any other plans that came in and they didn't go to us, then how did that happen?
well, it's,
And so when we made the motion, it's right in that decision letter that states what date it was, and that plan is March 6th. So then any other revisions that came afterwards don't exist as far as being approved. And therefore they are automatically not using an approved plan.
They don't have an approved plan,
Why?
because nobody signed one.
How do you know that? We lost them.
According to the engineer, he said they never
Does he
got
work?
signed.
Maybe he doesn't work for the town. And
Well, you know what, we're doing nothing but
I
speculation.
just wanna say one thing,
That's the
then
key word being if.
We have a motion.
Everything's a bunch of ifs.
I
There's a
just want to say
motion.
one thing, and then, so it's easily understandable, this letter is dated April 20th. And the revision of the plans right there is April 17th, so they must have came before you with those April 17th plans. They have to, if the meeting was held Thursday.
it's March 8th, and that's, it seems like.
And the other thing is, even on the plans that he showed us right there, the front page still has that 360, but the next plans all have the updated dates of April 17th. On those ones right there.
But not on the ones that we just got from the town office.
These ones,
I'm saying there's a discrepancy. There's a discrepancy in that it could be a big issue.
Well, what we can do is ask everyone to come in, decide what the most current plan is, and actually sign a plan. So that we're working on a plan that everybody has approved.
I think that's reasonable. I think if they don't come in by December 4th, we should.
Then we have to look at something else.
System start work.
Can we amend the motion that said that would add that right to it?
Add what right to it?
That if they don't come in on December 4th and we can't figure it out, that they have to stop working.
We don't have the authority to make stop work. That we'll recommend.
We'll send a letter to the zoning enforcement officer.
You good with that revision?
No, I'm not good with that. I think we should do it one step at a time.
Yeah,
Let's not jump ahead and if and this and that. Let's start out with everybody getting here and then we'll take it from there.
I agree with you.
That's my motion.
We currently have a motion and a second. Unless there's any more discussion on the motion, let's take a vote and see where we're at with this. Roll call vote, Ms. Troop.
I'm still thinking, can you move to somebody
Sure.
else?
Mr. Sylvester,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
No.
Mr. Gainer,
Yes.
Mr. Milius, yes,
I'm also a no.
and Ms. Troop.
But it's not because I don't want them to come in, it's just that I'm really worried about how, because first of all, they shouldn't have received any permit until the drainage was completed and it still has issues and it's not done, it's not done.
Was that a condition? Yes.
Where's the business?
What's the vote?
The vote is in favor, 3.
3-2.
All right, moving on.
Hold on, the easement states maintenance and drainage inspections will be done twice a year. Hold on. The easement will be recorded at the Plymouth County Registry of Deeds before any permits or work can be started. The hours of operation, so they have to be recorded at the Plymouth Registry of Deeds before any permits or work can be started.
Now, actually, we shouldn't be talking about it anymore. However, just for clarification, the storage facility itself, and I confirmed, has a drainage easement that goes directly into the country club. There are 2 pipes in the drainage easement on the Aldridge property, one of which is the drainage from the roadway that's being constructed, and the other one is for the detention area from Starbucks and the proposed auto zones.
And that's all, and we have that paperwork.
Right, yeah, right, just for clarification. Okay, we're gonna move on. We've got bills to do and meeting minutes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, too. I don't have the bill. I was thinking of the other one.
I'll make a motion to pay a bill for the Express newspaper for a subscription renewal in the amount of $35.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to pay the invoice from Express newspapers for $35. We're gonna take a roll call vote. Ms. Troop?
Yes.
Mr. Milius, myself, yes. Mr. Gainer?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Sylvester?
Yes.
Unanimous. Meeting minutes. Has everyone had an opportunity to review
have
minutes? I have not either, so.
Make a motion to take the October 16th meeting minutes. Hold on, is that correct? Yep, October 16th meeting minutes to the December 4th meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to move the meeting minutes to the December 4th meeting. A roll call vote. Mr. Sylvester,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Gainer,
Yes,
Ms. Troop,
Yes.
Mr. Millies, myself, yes. Okay, unanimous. What else do we have here?
Communications. Let me check the signatures folder first.
We also have a decision letter to look at.
Final approval?
Yep.
Is this?
So should we have a full set of plans instead of the smaller plans that we can sign, because we can't sign them?
No, we can't. Yeah, we're gonna have to
he
ask.
said they were gonna provide them
Yeah, he did.
tonight.
And I think those were the plans that he provided and they needed to be a full set.
So,
Well, how many copies? 6 or 9?
7?
7?
no, they require 9, some ridiculous amount. Yeah,
It's for each board,
and now, that's so antiquated now because everything's
Yeah,
going
exactly.
electronically.
but we
But
have to
that's what it
update the
said.
Yeah,
file.
we need to update it, yeah, I agree. Do we have an expiration date? For 5 million
Well-
Ponce Street?
Okay, so did we decide at the
Was it
last
the
meeting
12th?
that we already have
Oh,
voted?
yeah, we did vote it, we just need to sign the letter.
Oh, right, so,
So we can put that off.
because we can't sign the letter until we have the plans, so
Well, we-
we're back at square one again.
Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't, because then we don't get a set of plans, and we don't get them signed, and then we do this.
And then they'll turn out missing.
Yeah,
And, hold on, I know we had one revision on this, hold on, removal of the forms. Alright, I think that was it. Does anybody wanna look this up? Do you want me to read it? I mean, we read it into record, you wanna read it into record again?
well, we didn't actually read it in the record last time, right?
Or- Well, we had a revision last time, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's put it off till the next meeting.
alright. So, should we say, Danielle, we need a full set, 9 copies, so meaning,
We skip 4 copies, we don't need that.
well, we need to at least say it because it's the
We got
bylaw.
a bunch.
Well, that's not the full set.
I know, but.
And they need to also have the space on it that we can sign.
Yeah, we need a signature block, yeah. We're not gonna,
Just for, the bylaw say full set or?
yeah,
full
that's what I
scale?
was just questioning myself, I agree.
Full sets and, well, for this, we have, the table layouts and everything like that, so we need to have the full sets.
Set,
Well, we've
meaning
got
every
full
pages,
set.
or
We need a
that is a
full
full
size set.
set,
Yeah,
but
But,
you want
yeah.
the full size, is that really?
That's bylaw. It's the bylaw.
does it, yeah, I don't know if it says full size set, but probably says full set.
It
What
usually
is
said
that?
it
What's
on
the-
it said it on the site plan application that we used to use, and I don't have that right in front of me to look at because we haven't used it in a year, I think, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we can ask for it, just seems like a lot of paper for.
what number is that again? I just want to know.
I haven't been up for 2 of these, but I know.
590.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the number you were looking for. I could have told you that, I wasn't sure what you were.
It's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't find it. Okay.
All right, so we're done.
I'll
Mr.
make-
Chairman, would you like a motion to adjourn?
I certainly would like to.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and double seconded to adjourn. Roll call vote. Mr. Sylvester,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. Gainer.
Yes?
This is true.
Yeah.
Mr. Millius, myself, yes. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Have a good night, y'all.